Let's see if we're really ready this time. After a couple of false starts. All right, here we go. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for August 20th. August 20th is the 232nd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 233rd in leap years, with 133 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is antebellum. Antebellum is an adjective that means existing before the war. I suppose it could actually be used to refer to a time before any war, but it's usually used in reference to the time before the war between the states, often referred to as the American Civil War. Antebellum comes to us from Latin words ante and bellum that literally mean before the war. First known use of the term antebellum is in the 1800s. Antebellum. If you have a word you'd like us to take a look at in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll get it on the list and check it out. And with that, this is the birthday of 23rd President of the United States, Benjamin Harrison, born August 20, 1833 in North Bend, Ohio. Interestingly, Benjamin Harrison was grandson of the 9th President of the United States, William Henry Harrison. We've talked about him before. And a great-grandson of Benjamin Harrison V, who signed the Declaration of Independence. Today's Benjamin Harrison won the presidency against the incumbent Grover Cleveland in the Electoral College while losing the popular vote. 6 states were added to the Union during Harrison's presidency. He substantially strengthened and modernized the U.S. Navy and was behind legislation in antitrust, monetary policy, and tariffs. Benjamin Harrison served 1 term and lived to the age of 67. Benjamin Harrison. Lou Gehrig hit his 23rd career Grand Slam on August 20th, 1938, setting a record that stood for 75 years until Alex Rodriguez surpassed that number in 2013. This is the birthday of English singer-songwriter Robert Plant, born August 20th, 1948, in West Bromwich, Staffordshire, England. He started playing with various bands as a teenager. In 1968, guitarist Jimmy Page was looking for a lead singer for his new band, and someone directed him to a show where he saw Robert Plant singing. The two met, hit it off, and the band that would become Led Zeppelin got off the ground. Jimmy encouraged Robert to take a go at writing lyrics, which he did, and many of those early songs allude to mythology, particularly Norse mythology. Robert was also influenced by the writing of J.R.R. Tolkien, resulting in such songs as The Battle of Evermore, Misty Mountain Hop, and Ramble On, to name a few. He also wrote songs with blues theme. The group Led Zeppelin consisted of singer Robert Plant, guitarist Jimmy Page, bassist John Paul Jones, and drummer John Bonham, and were quite successful. But with the unexpected death of their drummer John Bonham in September of 1980, they just couldn't bear to continue, and Led Zeppelin disbanded. Robert Plant seriously considered leaving music altogether and becoming a classroom teacher. People in the music biz, though, encouraged him to pursue a solo career in music, and he did, and that's gone well for him. Whether singing solo or with others, Robert Plant continues to entertain his fans and turns 76 in 2024. Robert Plant. Now we have a playlist of episodes for this day in history, as well as a playlist of single subjects called How About That? And words of the day in a playlist called There's a Word for That. I'll leave links to those playlists for you in the description. Since it's Robert Plant's birthday today, we'll talk about a song that he did. And I have to say it was hard to choose just one. In fact, there are several links to songs of his, whether with Led Zeppelin, solo, or with other artists in the description. I particularly like his collaborations with Alison Krauss, for instance. But today we'll talk about Stairway to Heaven. Written by Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, Stairway to Heaven was released in 1971. The story on the lyrics is that they were spontaneously improvised one evening as Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were working on things next to a log fire. Like, oh, nothing much, we're just hanging out here, all cozied up by the fire writing songs. Stairway to Heaven was released on their album Led Zeppelin IV in 1971. Interestingly, while the record company wanted to release it as a single, the band's manager refused these requests, so people bought the fourth album as a single. Stairway to Heaven is often listed among the greatest rock songs of all time and is still extraordinarily popular. It has a place on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. There's a story out there that Robert Plant once gave $10,000 to a listener-supported radio station during a pledge drive after the disc jockey solicited donations by promising that the station would never play Stairway to Heaven. Plant was station surfing in a rental car he was driving after a solo performance and was impressed with the non-mainstream music the station presented. Someone asked him later why he did that, and he said, it wasn't that he didn't like the song, but he'd heard it before. I imagine so. There's a great deal more lore about the song Stairway to Heaven, but I think this is good for now. Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. Link in the description. Well, how was that? I don't think I made too many mistakes in reading, but the editing will tell. And if we have any outtakes, they'll be forthcoming. All righty. 20th. August 20th is through... 6 western states were added to the Union during... 6... This is born August 30. No, he wasn't. He was born on the 20th. Okay. Since it's Robert Plant's. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page called No Really. And you can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.